All right, we got another heavy topic that we need to discuss here. Jaslyn Adams, 7-year-old girl sitting in the car with her father at McDonald's, shot and killed, hit 6 times. Um, and this story is like one of many stories that we've heard in our lives. Um, Jaslyn's one of many children who've lost their lives to gun violence, senseless violence, stupid, ridiculous violence. But this story requires some attention because it's a very, very important tale. It's a very specific tale. Jaslyn's father is a rapper, not a well-known rapper, but somebody who has some local steam in his area, and he's I guess he's involved in some activities or has some affiliations of some sort. And on one of there is footage that I just saw of him allegedly, because you couldn't see the face. The person who's doing this is facing the other way, but the person recording it, you just clearly see this that someone is peeing on somebody's grave, and they go around this person's grave very closely, so you can see their name, you can see their their tombstone, and you can see that someone is actually urinating on their grave with flowers down there and everything. And now this culture that we have, and I've mentioned this before, this culture, this drill culture, this make fun of our ops after they die culture, making fun of the dead culture that is going rampant right now, it has this type of result to it, man. This is what type of event, as I've said in other previous videos, just kind of a recurring theme. Events that are taking place in certain environments that we create with our actions and with what we continue to promote. And this is yet another tale of that. When you make fun of the dead, or you take it to that far extreme where you are pissing on somebody's grave, you need to understand that there are people in this world who will take something like that, they'll see something like that, and their response is to do something very, very, very cruel and unusual in response to that. Because obviously this is a game of murder that they're playing, so it's not like you could just, okay, well, shooting at them. They want to shoot at them anyway. You know what I mean? To really get back at somebody for pissing on somebody's grave in that environment, in that ecosystem, so to speak, you would want to do something strange to this person. Now, and I believe, and I think a lot of people are going to start to believe as they start to put two and two together, that this is retaliation for such. This is probably a direct retaliation from such. And even if it's not, man, the universe has a way. Some people believe in karma, some don't, but here's a story of it. Regardless of whether it's directly related or not, you can clearly see sins fall upon the children. Sins of the father, as they say. You know what I mean? There's also some rumor going around about him doing some PPE loan, and his enemies tracking him through that, and that's how they got his location. But if you look at the car that was shot, they were shooting through the back seat, man. The back right window was where most of the bullets, and through the back right of the trunk is where most of the bullets were entering, it seemed, from what I saw. I'm no expert in that regard, but that's what it looked like to me. And kids sit in the back seat, man. You know what I mean? Granted, those tents were tight. They were dark, very, very dark tinted. But if you're aiming for the driver, I don't think you're going to be shooting through the back right trunk. Senseless, man. I think when it really comes down to it, everyone involved in this situation wants justice, to say the least, for this young lady. She was 7 years old. She did not have an opportunity to even grow, to learn anything about life. Cut down trying to get a sandwich at McDonald's, man. And this goes as a cautionary tale to people who live that lifestyle. You need to be very careful about keeping your loved ones around you when your lifestyle is that ridiculous, man. You know you have that type of energy outside for you. Don't put your child in that danger. That's an impossible situation. I get it. You want to be there for your kids, but if you are a dangerous environment for them to be in, then chances are you should probably not put them in that, to say the least. It's your responsibility to keep your kids safe. You know, at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying to you. Every father, every parent, every guardian, it's your responsibility to keep the child safe. And he didn't anticipate his enemies. And that was his fault, not being able to sense that energy was around him. I saw his press conference. He's sitting there saying, I want the person who did this arrested. I want justice. Who they haven't told me why they shot my baby. I don't think it's a person in the community, honestly, that believes that bullshit. I don't think any of us actually think he has no idea who would want to target him and his child. I ain't buying that. I'm not going to pretend like I buy that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to pretend like I buy that, bro. I'm not. Normally, I wouldn't talk about stuff that involves this type of thing, but when it comes to a 7-year-old girl, I don't give a shit, bro. I don't care. I'm going to speak freely. On this channel, I will speak completely freely. And whatever comes with that, comes with that. I think the streets fail us when they fail to protect children themselves. You know what I mean? You do all your dirt out there, you doing all that. If the goal ain't to at least protect children or keep them out of the bullshit, y'all failed, man. It's the truth. They gotta have a code for something. You gotta have a code for something. Otherwise, it's just chaos. You can't trust nothing. Everything you build falls apart. You gotta have a code for something. And I think a good place to start is with children. They should not be involved in your retaliatory moves. And there should be repercussions overall for something like this happening. I think the streets have enough cordialness within their nature and decency in their display to look at that and say, you know what? Nah, we shouldn't do that. That's where we should not allow that. We shouldn't do business with people who do that. We should not trust people who do that. We should not be associated with people who are okay with that. You know, draw your line somewhere. That's how I feel about everything. You know, there are people doing what they do and they don't have a lot of morals, this, that, and the third, but there should be some order even amongst thieves. You know what I mean? I really believe that. That was too far. And at this point, as I've said, because of the way the shots were, because of what footage I saw him pissing or what have you, allegedly him was pissing or what have you. If all of that comes together to be as it is, he holds some responsibility for his child's death. He does. And those who did it, they should face the harshest consequences, regardless if the law can catch up or not. That should not be. Some things just should not be. That's how I feel from where I'm sitting, man. That should never have happened. Find another way. You know? I think about how art imitates life. Those who watch Snowfall know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a scene where something like this took place. In less than maybe 3 months after its airing, we have a story like this in real life. It's just crazy, man. You know? Rest in peace to Jaslyn Adams. Justice for her. You know, I mean, what can I say, you know? There are going to be people who watch this video and say, well, why aren't you as outraged as you would be if a police officer took her life or if a white person took her life? And there's so many different ways to respond to that, but the best way I know how to say it from my heart is this. I simply am. I am as outraged. The only difference, and it's a very slight difference, the only difference is whoever shot that little girl was not sworn to protect her. Though at this point, I think we should all swear to protect children. Every citizen should be forced to swear to protect children. I think we should want to be honest. I think that should be our duty. We give our lives to a lot of things, but the protection of innocence seems like the most reasonable one. My name is BDO44.